big, beautiful, loving planet called Earth. I don't know how everyone feels on this topic, but let's talk about it here for a second. Every single person on this planet likes to blame or likes to come up with excuses on a lot of different things. Like, I can give some examples. Like, say you're at work and you do something wrong, and then you pass that blame on to someone else or say something like that because you want to get that promotion or something. And this is the wrong way to approach life. Every single thing that we do in our lives, whether it's follow a sports team, whether it's go to work and do something wrong or do something that's inappropriate, we don't take the blame. Or we make up excuses, and that's not the right way to approach life. If you make a mistake, or not if, say you make a mistake and you pass that blame on to someone else and they get fired, that could be on your guilty conscience for the rest of your life. And it's not just work. It could be anything that you do in life. It could be, placing blame on the players, placing blame on the referees or the umpires or whatever. And sure, sometimes it can be the referees or the umpires or the whatever it is in any sport or any sporting event that you go to or watch or anything of that nature, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, hockey, or any other sport that exists in this, wrestling, any of that stuff. Sure, they may make a mistake once or twice or a handful of times, but for the most part, you shouldn't put blame on every single thing that happens. Some things, yes, but not everything. I was watching a couple of football games, a couple of baseball games, a couple of basketball games in the past week or two, and I realized something, that sure everyone makes mistakes. Everyone should own up to those mistakes that they make. And I've made my fair share of mistakes. And sometimes I take the blame for it. I put that pressure on me, and that's okay. Put that pressure on you. That just makes things easier, and it allows you to learn and grow as a person. And I know the last couple of weeks, when I'm watching my favorite NFL team, which you guys should know by now, it's the Niners, I like to place the blame on certain situations. Like, there were a few calls that shouldn't have been called in the last two games that the Niners have played that cost them the game. And I understand that, most of these games are scripted and they already have the outcome of each game. But let's be honest here. Some of those penalties should not have been called because they were ticky-tack penalties. And they've happened in other games too, not just the 49ers games. There have been ticky-tack calls that were called that shouldn't have been called in any NFL game or any baseball game. The umpires have made a mistake and things like that. And I recently I've been doing things a little differently in my life, and maybe that's why they've been losing the last two games, or maybe it's something else that I just don't fully understand just yet. But things that I've done in my life recently have caused them to lose the last two games. And that's blame on me. And I'm okay with taking the full blame on that. That's not, and it's just, it's not just that. It could be an NBA game. It could be something I do going to the movies alone. It could be getting the wrong thing at the grocery store or doing something wrong at home. Everyone can take blame for something in their lives, or multiple somethings. It could be 10 things you've done wrong. It could be 100 things you've done wrong in your lifetime. depending on how old you are. And at my age, I've made mistakes. I've done things wrong, and I've owned up to most of those things. Not every single thing, but I've owned up to most of those things. And I will continue to make mistakes and place blame on other people at sometimes. Not every time, but sometimes. And I will say up front that I've made mistakes and I've taken the blame on a lot of things, and I've apologized, and I will continue to apologize for things that I place on other individuals that shouldn't have to deal with that in the future endeavors that they may have. And that's okay. Everyone's different. Everyone has these different outlooks on life. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to say that you guys should realize taking the blame is not a wrong thing to do. Taking the blame is the right thing to do. And everyone's done it at least once or twice or 5 times or 10 times or 50 times, and they've apologized for that. And that's perfectly fine. And I apologize for doing the things differently in my life that may have caused those losses by the 49ers in the past 2 weeks. And I completely take 100% blame for that, because and I gotta fix those things and not do those things that cause those losses. And maybe they'll get back to the winning ways next week before they go into the bye week. But we'll just have to wait and see. The NBA finals, or not the NBA finals, the NBA season starts today. There are 2 games. The Lakers and I want to say it's the Bucks, but that doesn't sound right. And then the Warriors and the Suns are playing tonight. Who knows what's going to happen in both those games, and we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, we've got one birthday to wish today, and that birthday is, I want to wish Eliza Taylor Morley a happy birthday. And the next time we have a birthday is on YouTube, which is tomorrow. And other than that, I will. Everyone has a true, honest, unconditional love story out there that exists in this world. And for me, she's somewhere in that celebrity world. Whether it's singing, whether it's music, whether it's movies, TV, modeling, wrestling, YouTube, anything but. And I want to stress this perfectly clear and well to everyone. I will never, ever date a porn star. Not now, not in the future, and not in the past. Because that's just not who I am. That's not what I do. And I'm just pointing out the facts. She could be 15 miles away from me, or she could be 15,000 miles away from me. I don't know at this point. But I will see you tomorrow with a brand new vlog, and bye-bye.